Welcome to our IT Fundamental V1.0 course. We're adding a new section which is called How to Mentally Prepare Yourself for Technical Learning. Now, this is a course that a lot of people will take in the beginning because you have learned about introduction, transitioning to IT career, you learn about the salary, you learn about the complex infrastructure in IT, different type of environments. Now, after this, you're basically talking about actually getting started on the technical training. Now, a lot of people go to colleges, certifications, and they just open up A+ right away. They really don't cover the things that we cover here in the beginning, which is a key for people to break into IT, and that is where a lot of people just stays confused until the end of their training. They still are confused unless somebody really go over this stuff. So we are going to add another piece here which is very important, and this is the thing that I do in my live training, but I want to share this in this course too, because now this course has become a very technical course. As you can see, after that there's modules that people need to finish, about 15 modules, and they are extremely technical. Don't be scared, there are entry-level technical stuff, but for this stuff also you need to prepare yourself mentally, because this is just a step one. This is first course. After that, you're spending 2 to 3 months trying to become a real IT professional. You want to work in a corporate environment, then there are certain things you need to also work on, and that is your mental training. So let's talk about what kind of points I'm going to share that with today. So the first question you should be asking, why Danish? What gives him an authority to share these type of tips? Of course, these type of tips can come from someone who have spent 6 months or 1 year. Of course, they can give you a little bit, but this will come from someone who have spent at least more than 10 years in IT, or maybe 15 years in IT. So this is where I am. I'm between 10-15 right now, and that's where I have learned all of this stuff from people. Because I started my IT career in a very young age, so I have learned from scratch, and I have known so many people, so many different departments that I worked, so many different titles, and now I came to the position where I'm working with so many different people that I have trained so far on this platform, different backgrounds, different cultures, different age related, so I have learned a lot, and this is where I basically talk about this stuff beginning of my live training. Whenever someone take live training with me, we go over this. The reason for that is that live training is fast paced, self training is slow pace. So for people who are going to be taking fast pace, of course they then need to know this really right in the beginning, but it is going to help everybody. So first, let's talk about this first point. Train to be patient. Basically, this is something that you have to train yourself, train your mind, because you're not going to naturally become patient right away with this stuff. So what I'm saying in according to our course, you need to watch the video fully. So if there's a section that has a video and there's a task in there, and that task has a video, you should watch that fully. Now, it's up to you. You may want to go to that video, change the setting, and make it faster if you think it's a little boring, but at least watch it fully so you can understand. And next time when you go to the lab, then it shouldn't be an issue for you. But again, even after that, you should still train yourself that I'm going to be patient. Even if I can't do this lab, I'm going to be patient. Why? Let's talk about this. Because if you are working in a company as a help desk, as a entry-level IT support personnel, then you are a part of that company, and you know that you are working under someone. And what I mean by that is that you are going to be supporting customers. Customer can be anything here, right? So you have to basically train yourself that I am going to be working with someone who's going to be having issues. So if I don't have the ability to be patient, how can I work with somebody who is also in the same situation? So, and this is actually an interview question too. A lot of people will ask you, how do you deal with stress? Because they know this job is not something you can just go and relax very easily in the beginning. It is going to be a little bit stressful in the beginning. Later on, when you learn things, you become pretty comfortable with this stuff. So the first thing I will tell you in specifically about these courses that you're taking, please don't skip these videos. If you want to learn, then at least watch the videos. You can skip the labs if you want to, if it's not required by our projects. If it's required by a project, you really can skip it because you have to do it then. But if it's not in the project, then skip it. Then the second part is accept the pattern of repetitiveness. This is very important for you in IT career. In IT, it's not that we every day we work on different things. It's not like that. Let me give an example. If you get a call for password lockout, you know that it's a part of Active Directory. So you're going to go and unlock that person. You may find one way in the beginning. Let's say you unlock the person. You got a call again. You got 10,000 times. Let's say you spend so many years in that company. Then you will think about that. That call is just repetitive call. So I need to accept this reality. Just like that, in IT, 70 to 80% of these things are all repetitiveness. So you need to accept that, because if you don't, then you're stressing yourself. Then you're going to be getting annoyed. Why am I going to do this all over again and again? You see, to fix that, then you need to learn automation. Then you need to learn something scripting. And that's where you become more advanced person, and that's where you appreciate your knowledge yourself, because you say, okay, I did something really cool. When I started my job, I was doing one step, let's say in 5 minutes, and now I can do 10 steps in few seconds because of my ability. And that's not just scripting. I'm saying you can do anything. In the future, you will learn many more things. But what I'm basically saying is, first is to be patient. Don't skip the videos in this course. And the second one is repetitiveness. Even in our courses, you need to make sure you are doing these things again. When you're doing it again, don't become annoyed that, oh, I just did this. Why do I have to do this again? Like, for example, in the fundamental course, you're going to learn something about how to add an Active Directory feature or something like that. Then you're going to go to our real world course, which is a Help Desk Technical V1.0 course, which is a new course equivalent to our Help Desk Entry-Level Specialist course, which was free for a while. And still free, but we're not updating it. And in that new course, you're going to learn the same thing again, but now you're going to learn it a little bit different way. Basically, we're going to be talking about, okay, now in a company, you're gonna get this on your help desk machine, while in the help desk, the fundamental lab, you are given a task. You just need to do it. So you see, same process but different methods, and that's what we call repetitiveness. It is a lab environment. Don't stress too much. Remember, in the lab environment, we're not checking that, how much, if there was an issue and you have resolved it masterfully, meaning like you went in there, you learned it, you specifically went into some really, really details in there. We want you to finish that task if it's a project. If it's not a project related lab, then we don't want you to waste too much time on it. The reason for that is that you will do this when you go to the work. They don't expect you to finish every single thing or be a master in the beginning. Because when you go to the work, they don't think that you have that level of knowledge. That's why even in help desk or IT support positions, there are levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3. And if people really want to hire someone with a lot of skills, they're going to specifically say that we're looking for level 3 or level 2. In a level 1 position, they just want you to know the concept. You have done a little bit here and there, and you know the basics, and you can go to Google, you can go to the communities, you can ask somebody, you can ask more professionals and how to fix it, and they will tell you, and that's what they're looking for. So in these lab environments, if you see there's an issue with the lab, let's say it's a practice lab issue, it's not supported by us, but it's supported by practice lab, I will say skip it and let us know there's an issue in the lab, and we'll say, okay, you don't need to do that project, no worries, just move on. As long as you know the concept, you really don't need to finish at the maximum level or at the mastery level. You don't need to really get into that. Okay, I learned something new today about imaging. You don't need to master imaging over here. As long as you know what imaging does and you know few tools that we have shown you, that's enough, because you're going to do that at work. Don't try to do it in these labs, because you will never finish these courses then. Don't try to overcomplicate and master something. I already talked about this. This is what I explained just now, that just don't try to master it, because it's not going to work. You are going to fail with this stuff. We have done this many times in our career, and we failed, and then we realized that IT is not all about mastering something. IT is about you need to know a few things that's related to your work. Simple as that. Let's talk about it. Smart learning. Another very important aspect of learning skills, specifically about IT. A lot of people back in the days, remember, there were not many online courses. There were not many people who are doing what we're doing now on YouTube. There were not many people like that. So people were actually open in sharing knowledge because not many people knew. So if somebody knew, then it was a trend in the company as well, that if you know a lot, then okay, you're going to teach it to other person, or that was a good feeling right now. But now, since online, things are so much availabilities out there, that people don't have that kind of drive, that why should I really teach you all this stuff if you have everything online? Why do I have to invest all this time with you? Remember, everybody have families, everybody have time, everybody have things going on in their life. So this is where things gets tricky. Back in the days, it was like that, but now it's even more complex. Online is made of so many things now. Technology is made of so many different things. Hybrid technology. For example, you have Active Directory now here, and you have Azure Active Directory in the cloud. You have Office 365. You have Outlook in the cloud. You have so many things mixed up now that people don't have that kind of time to teach you. So what do you need to do? You need to first find your goals. What is it that you want from this career? And then what kind of, titles are you going to target? So here we say that share your goals with experienced IT professionals. It could be us. Contact us. You have our number. You can directly call this number, send a voicemail, send a message. At least if you're not taking a live training, we're not pushing you on live training or anything like that. We know that's the best option right there. But at least we can tell you that you are on a right path, or you are on a hard path, or you are on a manual path, or you are on a smart path. So see, we can actually really help you in this stuff. So only focus on targeted titles. How would you know this stuff? Somebody has to tell you, right? So the first step is you contact the professional, then he or she told you the titles that you should be focusing on. So once your titles are focused, then you solely concentrate on the specific skills in this title. Because if you don't do that, then IT is too broad. A lot of people come to me, they say, I have MCSA, I have CCNA, I have this nice advanced certification. But when I ask them, what are you really trying to achieve? I want to become an IT person. But that's not an answer. I want to become an IT person. We go back to that again. I'm like, okay, you did security, you did this and that, but do you want to become a security professional? Then they say, yes, but that's kind of like, I know hard, but I want to become an IT. Okay, I'm like that. Okay, you want to become a help desk. That's the easy one, right? And then they say, yes, that's what I want to do. You see, now we fix this area right here, right? We're going to fix it because now I know which area of skills you're going to require. So in this course and other courses, you're going to be you're already targeted. If you're taking the fundamental IT V1.0 course, you're already in that target right now, so you don't have to even worry about this. But of course, if people are watching this with journal, they're not taking our courses, then they should be contacting us or people who people who are in IT. Contact your friends. Don't be shy. Ask yourself interview question. I'll put a star mark in there. Every time you're taking these courses, you're taking the videos, you're doing the labs, convert that into interview question. A lot of people contact me after live training that, can I have a interview question? Even though I shared a lot with them, to be honest, no one can give you 100% correct interview questions. We do give you something really cool that it helps a lot of people, but the problem is that anyone can think of anything. And that's where we're talking about another human, how the other human mind is working. What if this manager knows that these are something very common? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to put something different for this person, but I will find out that if this person knows about IT or not. So when you do all these tasks in this lab and all these courses that you're taking, I can guarantee you will create 1,000 interview questions for yourself by doing these self-ask interview question. How? You're going to go to the task and you're going to say, in this task, it tells me to install an application and deploy this application on a different machine. Then you should ask yourself, what kind of deployment tools have you used in this environment or this lab, or how did you learn it? You see, now that's an interview question. You just turn your learning into an interview question. How cool is that? Because now you have built so many interview questions for yourself, and that should definitely help you. Show your learning on the resume. You should definitely put the labs on your resume. You should say that I have done this lab, that lab. You should put all our courses on your resume. Even if you have not completed it, put in progress. Remember, it's all about terms and key terms on your resume. You're selling yourself. So when they see these terms, it basically, it's a conversation. Interview is nothing more than a conversation. You have to be confident. It's a story. So somebody has to either be inside the story and be very happy that they're seeing something very common that they want to look for, or they could see, okay, this is a pretty boring story, I'm not even getting anywhere, and that's where you kind of don't get calls. So even if you are not certified from us, you really need to put all these courses and just put pending, no problem, right? You can always show that this is my progress right here. Now practice. I mean, we can talk all right here for next few days or few years, but if you're not practicing in IT, trust me, it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. You can learn all that stuff, but if you are not gonna practice the first part, you cannot even train yourself to be patient. How can you be trained on a technical skills, train your mind to be patient when you're not even touching the systems? So when you start doing these labs that we're providing, the practice lab and all that stuff that we're doing in this platform, like for example these right here, and you're not actually clicking on these things and you're not actually doing this stuff, then it's hard. It's just not easy for you to train yourself. Because here you're going to know about the timing, you're going to specifically look into the details, then you're going to invest that time and train yourself. And how this is going to help you in the real world when there's an issue going on, and let's say you're working on a specific application in the company, because every company may be using different application, right? We don't know what kind of CMS system they're using, what kind of for their websites they're using some type of stuff that you need to be responsible at. And then you need to go to documentation of that side. There's something wrong with that, of course, and you need to spend that time. And if you have not done that over here in your practice, then that's where it's going to hurt you when you actually start doing the job. And that's where you will feel like you're stressed. IT may become more of like not a good job for you, because that's where you're going to feel negative about IT. Now the people who are really in love with IT because they have mastered these type of things, at least that they know that, okay, I'm new, but I'm going to be practicing, and I know that it's not going to happen right away, and I know that they know that I'm new, so I can really get over this stuff. I can do this. So that's how you're going to be practicing. And of course you have so many resources, like on this one right here, search job related labs. So of course you're going to go to the practice lab. You can contact us and we'll say, okay, you should do this lab and that lab. But if you're following our self-paced courses like IT fundamental, and then it basically the courses tells you what to do. You really don't need to be stressing on our courses here, because the way we design it, you're going to come here and you're going to say get a certificate, then okay, benefit of getting a certificate, then what's next, start applying early. And I mean everywhere, like I said, next course right here. So all the videos are step by step guiding you, and that's the same thing that we do in live training. We wouldn't go a little further, because you're on a WhatsApp and you're on the phone, you're calling us, we're talking to you, and we're leading you, we're giving you the resume, we're fixing things with you, you're applying for interviews. Of course, it's a whole thing. That's why when people ask us how long is the live training, we say it's about 2 to 3 months. It's actually not 5 days only. 5 days is just training. After that, we do so much for you that this package is not available anywhere. I mean, when you compare this whole thing with other people. So lastly, I want to talk about the resources that you have, the people who are premium members or people who have took live training. Or even if you haven't taken it, then I would strongly suggest at least go for the live training, because it comes with everything. So if you look at the resources, you have 3,000 videos inside your portal. That's the lab videos. So tomorrow, if you are going to go to the interview and you want to learn about imaging, you just type imaging in the community portal, and there you go. All the videos will just show up right in your community portal, like right here. You click on it and you simply search the term image, and you just look into these videos. You have tons of videos right here that you can basically open up and just prepare yourself for that specific interview that you're going. And that's just one example. So you have just too many resources. Of course, then you have labs right here. You can quickly go in there. We can suggest you some lab before the interview. And then, of course, you can come to the video courses. You have like 249 courses over here. It's a huge access. So that's why I said that in the beginning, talk to us. Do this, take this premium or live training, so then we can make your life easy. And that's where your stress level is going to be very minimal. And this is the difference between somebody landing a job with not like our services, they can land a job. Of course, everybody can land a job in IT, but this is a difference that we are providing a value that we are providing to our members versus people who are straight going to IT, because at some point that's the same people that come to us that I'm stuck in help desk, or I just can't land a job because of these things that we just discussed. These are the things that are missing there. And that's what we find out when we talk to them in detail. I hope you like this video. If you have anything else to add, of course I'm only one person and I'm getting it from other people too, but you have your experience, you know about a lot of stuff. Tell us what you think. Tell us, if you are a professional, what can you add to this to help the community? So this is where we can help together. All of us can work together to make a really nice guidance for people. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think.